Hello, everyone. This is Derek Old School Fournier from WhatTheBuck.net, coming to you after training camp here on Tuesday. Went out for the padded practice. I just got back from Canton, Ohio, so I apologize for the lack of video updates, but I was up there for the enshrinement ceremony and our reunion as a PFUFA member as well. Had a great time up there. I'll tell you about that in a separate video. Today at practice, it was a hot and sweltering and wet and nasty day out there, but the guys were out there in full force. A couple guys in street clothes, or at least not in pads. Werner Streeter as well, a couple of other guys that you'd want to see, but all in all, Daquan Bowers as well, which probably doesn't bode well for him. But in general, we had a full complement out there. Today, I was looking at the receivers. We had some good 11-on-11 series, some good 7-on-7, and a couple of other little surprises. One note, receivers across the board look great, spark from time to time, but we got way too many drops going on still. And this starts, Vincent Jackson's catching the ball in his pads, which I hate to see. He's a much better receiver than that. Louis Murphy looks the part, gets open, has drops even in his warm-up routes. That's starting to scare me. These are things that I've said before may just be math. This is a matter of training camp fatigue. We really need to focus this on the game in Jacksonville to see if this translates over. Chris Owusu had a good day of practice today. In general, the quarterbacks were on target for the short and intermediate routes. Long routes, once again, were underthrown on a regular basis by all quarterbacks. Though generally speaking, when I speak about quarterbacks on this team, I'm only going to refer to Josh McCown and Mike Glennon, because there's such an expanse between them and Kafka and Tanny that it's not really worth talking about. Now, in other notes from today, in one-on-ones, the receivers got the better end of the stick in general. Now, I did see something that I had not seen in a while. We know that Mr. Casillas is a talented and athletic linebacker. Today, I watched him covering the wheel route on Rainey, and he was in his back pocket the entire time. I was shocked by that, so I started paying a little bit more attention to Casillas. He had an excellent practice. Now, I know that I had a tweet that came in that said there was a linebacker pushing him. I have called him Brian Fantana, though that's not his actual name. But in general, I think Casillas is having a good camp. Khalil Galoud still looks extremely athletic as well. When you get past that first series, I think we've got some real good athletes in that linebacking core that are going to look sharp. Another person who popped today for me was Jeff Demps. I'm not a huge Jeff Demps guy. If I were the coaching staff, I'd have him getting a lot of reps early to see if he can hold up to it. He certainly looks stout. For some reason, he looks bigger to me, but he still looks fast. One of the things I was speaking with one of the folks out there in camp about was he's decisive. When he makes his move, he's going to make it and accelerate through, and he did that a couple times today, and it was very impressive. The last piece that I want to bring up, or there's two other pieces I want to bring up in this video so I can stay under my normal time allotment about camp, was that in goal line, they did goal line, full contact goal line, and I would have thought the defense would have run the day on that, but they didn't. Doug Martin with ones-on-ones got in there a couple times. It was pretty well balanced. The twos-on-twos, I think it was Mike James got in there on the first play, then he got stonewalled a couple times and had one fumble. Twos-on-twos. On ones-on-ones, Doug Martin did a good job. The first one, he got stood up by Mason Foster, but managed to get in the end zone. But in general, I was really pleased with the amount of push that the offensive line was getting. That's either a credit to them, or we have to be a little bit more concerned about our defensive line. I'm not quite sure which one. Now, the surprise of camp is really in a position that we wouldn't think, but Patrick Murray, kicker out of Fordham, was taking all of the duties. And what we saw was a chance where Kanan, everything that Kanan does, he was not being allowed to do. He started out holding, and then they started having Mike Glennon hold. They've got other guys punting the ball. I would not be surprised to see Kanan on the bubble. I know a lot of you guys have said this before. I've liked what Kanan's given us in the past. But this kid, with about a 2.5-step run, was putting it 7 yards deep in the end zone. I don't know where he gets it all from because he's every bit of about 5'1", but he was also kicking the ball pretty consistently from 45 and 50 yards out through the uprights. So not that everyone is hot about the field goal play or the place kicker situation, but I would keep an eye on this because that is an opportunity to reduce our costs in the place kicking position. I will probably not be to any more camps until the Jacksonville game. So once we see the Jacksonville game, I'll put up a post review of the Jacksonville game. I do want to tell you I'll have a couple more videos, one on the Canton enshrinement and one on this quote-unquote quarterback battle that has gone on in the radio airwaves down here that I think is completely unfounded. For you local people as well, if you'd like to come out to the second annual What the Buck kickoff party, it is at Wing House on 8001 Hillsborough Avenue. It will be Saturday night, 7 o'clock till close. It should be a great time. We're collecting school supplies for local teachers and students. We'd love to have you out there. There'll be all sorts of fun and excitement. If you have any questions, check us out on whatthebuck.net. Thanks so much, man. Take care. One other thing that I wanted to remind you guys of is I've been talking a lot about the tight end position. I forgot to mention this in the original video, so I figured I'd snap this onto the end. All of the tight ends other than Luke Stocker have had a problem with blocking. They have not shown the footwork or the leverage or the strength to work with the one-man sled, which has us some limited opportunities with them in blocking. After being gone for the weekend in Canton, coming back, all of them showed significant improvement. I do want to comment about the depth chart, however. I would not pay much attention to that. If you watch what's happening in practice, Luke Stocker is lining up as the number one. Tim Wright is the number two. Then we got ASJ at the end, but when they go into actual practices, you see ASJ and Luke Stocker taking all of the first team and second team reps, irrespective of the depth chart. So it was good to see, good progress, and hopefully that will continue.